Hi, everyone. Welcome to the supplemental episode of Deep Magic. I'm so glad you're here. We're very lucky to have two wonderful guests with us here today. I, as always, am Spectre, your storyteller, and we're going to start with you, Zach. Let's go.
Oh, introduce ourselves?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I am Zach. Some of you may know me as Lord Zed, and I'm playing a Redcap Unknown.
Awesome.
Named Unknown.
And Steffi.
Hi, I'm Steffi. I'm a writer and developer for various World of Darkness books, including Changing the Lost, and I am playing Queen Laurel.
Awesome. Very excited. And for the purposes of this episode, I will be playing Countess Natia ap Alunet. And where we left Queen Laurel in our narrative is in the middle of a snowstorm in the Banff Forest with the remnants of the royal riot around her. There are still autumn rebels within the Dreaming attempting to claim combat with her, but there is a more pressing issue. And in this closed tent, in the middle of the Queen's enclosure, the Queen speaks to Unknown, the royal assassin, with her loyal friend, Countess Natia ap Alunet, and in the background, the frozen form of her son, Prince Mahone ap Fiona. Laurel, what are you doing?
Well, I'm not a dictator. Technically speaking, I am, but no. I would like ideas from Nathia and Unnamed on how to get both my son and my subjects out of here.
The subjects are less of a problem as long as we can move them slowly. Obviously, the rebels are causing a disruption in our ability to get people out of the Dreaming. They tend to cluster around where we might escape. They are, well, I'm never going to forgive that woman for naming herself this, but the generals Cortana and Ciri are really intent on doing battle with you. And they also think that that technological name is going to be wonderful for them, and it's so irritating.
They want to do battle with me.
Oh yes, they want to do battle with you. They feel that we are improper stewards for the glamour we have left.
Okay.
Improper. Ha! Improper. I say well, Your Majesty, if I may, I say get who we can out of here, and give me a few men, and I can definitely take care of these squandered rebels.
I'm less concerned about the rebels, which we could do any number of things with, and more the fact that the Lord Knight Madden has disappeared from your enclosure. Also, in interesting news, the Queen's Cup that we had recovered from your championship arena appears to be a very well-done fake, which means there's a boon from you wandering around somewhere in the world.
Okay. Prioritizing. Can we come to terms with the rebels temporarily so that we can get the people out?
Yes, especially if we prioritize getting the commoners out before the royal...
I'm willing to acquiesce to that. Okay, let's offer them those terms.
Excellent. Given that they seem most mad that we came back from Arcadia at all, prioritizing the commoners will at least be a show of good faith.
Yes, and I'm happy to do combat with them at any time later.
What about the women and children, my grace? As well.
Can you repeat that? I didn't catch it.
What about the women and children, my grace?
We're getting all the commoners out.
Okay.
We are fortunate that not everyone brings children to royal riots due to the nature of royal riots, but, we will do our best to get the most vulnerable out first. It should at least keep the rebels from attacking us on sight.
All right, then let's offer them terms. Yes, and my son.
Yes. Yeah, your son's friend, Madden, has always been a bit of a thorn about the whole thing since Mahone brought back that wolf and all of the things that happened with that. I just can't. But if we get him back, he's always been a friend to Mahone, so I'm certain that nothing will change on that topic.
Are we sure if this wolf is even one of us?
No, it spills glue. Sorry.
It's kin, isn't it?
No, it's not that either. We had it checked. I mean, we don't know exactly what it is, but every time it showed up, particularly when Mahone was, well, forgive me, Your Grace, but rambling in his cups, it spilled glamour and then tainted everything that it touched.
Right. Well, we'll put the wolf on our to-do list, but perhaps not at the top since we're busy.
I do have some information from, well, you never know which side they're on these days, but the murder court informed me that the cup had gone forward with a group of rather nameless people, although there is a member of House Fiona with them.
Oh, that's good. Let's try diplomacy.
A Lady Iris Ap Fiona.
Right. I will see if I can use diplomacy before we send assassins after them.
I do hope that works, but I also am concerned about what Madden might have told them.
I'm sure he was fanciful.
I'm sure he was too. But if I can tell I'm sort of in the way, so I'll let you speak with Unknown for a moment. I'm certain he has more interesting ideas than my diplomatic ones. And she is going to, for all intents and purposes, exit the tent.
Okay. Is she going to offer terms to the rebels so that we can get people out? Okay.
Yes.
So that is one thing out of the way. So, Unnamed, your plans. Let's focus on my son, since it looks like we'll have the commoners out of there.
Well, I could see if there's any way to free him. I don't know, Your Grace, if there is. But if there's a person that's with a strange identity wolf, maybe they might have questions. Obviously, they attract some weird stuff, this group.
Yes, this group that Madden is currently with.
Yes.
Why are all these people so independent?
That's something that I cannot answer, Your Grace.
Okay. Well, like I said, it's not at the top of the priority list. Let's focus on getting everybody to safety, and then we can track down the cup, and the wolf, and Madden. And hopefully we can do it without bloodshed.
Hopefully. I rather not see innocents get hurt as much as what I am. Women and children should not be hurt in grown-up matters that are just common.
Yes, we try not to be needlessly cruel.
Well, all of us.
Needlessly, well, you know.
I know.
Laurel, you actually have a mirror that you can use to see things within your realm. It's never been able to extend outside of your realm, largely because there are other kingdoms to contend with at that point. But your realm, you've always been able to see all the way through it. If you wanted to track down their location, you would be able to do so fairly easily.
Yes, let's have a look what they're currently doing then.
So, having left the Royal Riot, they immediately went to a hotel in the nearest city. They are currently in Edmonton, but they are apparently leaving and heading east. Their current destination is unknown. They're driving a minivan. They're watching The Princess Bride.
Okay. Well, not everyone can have refined standard. It's fine. I don't expect too much.
There is a she-woman with a very large red hair, almost Miss Frizzle style.
Fiona.
Right. There is a Slua, apparently blind. There is a troll, dad bod, kind of older gentleman, grump. There is a red cap, which you, Unknown, will recognize as the red cap that killed your brother. And you still haven't found his reincarnation yet, so that's an issue. And, oh Lord, I'm going through. There is a knocker with very red tufted hair. And, oh God, and there is a Selkie, who is actually relatively famous for their traditional band.
Okay. The mirror only allows me to scry. I can't leave messages for them.
You can only see. There would be a way for you to send messages otherwise, but not through the mirror. Largely because sending messages through the mirror would also reveal the existence of the mirror, which would make it a target.
Yes.
Question for the storyteller.
Okay.
These are part of the rebels, or these are unaligned people?
You don't know. They don't have the traditional rebel thing where they stick handprints on their face when they go into like official situations. Everybody outside has brightly colored handprints on their face to identify themselves.
The troll and the knocker might be useful, my liege. Good muscle and good adventures, just in case if this does break out after the commoners get out.
I'm not worried about the commoners and the rebels. It will be fine.
From outside, you hear the horns go off for a tete-a-tete with the rebel leaders over there. So obviously, Natia has been able to set something in motion outside.
That's good. So I would like to send a letter to. Do I know who the Fiona in the minivan is?
Yes, you would be aware of her. She's not high up. She doesn't have her own freehold. She is, in her mortal seeming, she's the daughter of a transport magnate. Her name is Lady Iris Fiona. She's never really been much into politics, particularly. She's a bit social debutante, actually. She has a friend in the court whose name is Lady Cressida. As far as you're aware, Lady Cressida is an Elunid.
Okay. I am going to take a moment to write a letter, and since she is my subject and within my kingdom, I'm going to assume that I can get the letter to her for whenever that storyline picks up again.
Also, Cressida should also still be here in the riot somewhere, and she, as you could figure out that was her friend, probably the fastest way to get her information at this point. So you could just summon Cressida at this point.
I could, but she would probably give me a phone number or something crass like that.
You're the queen. You can just tell her not to.
Yes, and she was like, here's my WhatsApp. No, I do not wish to WhatsApp my subjects.
I mean, fair. You can definitely get a letter to them. Of course, there's any number of flying puka as well. So, if you just want to send an animal that way, that works too.
Yeah, that works. That works. We'll send a flying squirrel of sorts.
Also,
the letter so that they can get it.
I will write that down. There is a flying squirrel with a letter going to Miss Motley. They're
going that way. Yes.
They're going to be so freaked out.
Okay, I'm going to put the Motley out of my mind. They have the cup, and they did not have the wolf, did they? They had Madden and the cup.
Yeah, there's no wolf with them. You attempt to scry the wolf. Nothing comes up.
Yes. So I sent the letter. The letter is on its way. They'll get it next time. And for now, I'm going to consider the cup and Madden resolved until Lady Iris has a chance to answer.
Okay. Excellent.
Or not. And then I'll move forward with that particular problem. Because I'm perfectly happy to give them a fair chance.
At this point, Countess Natia comes back in and says, "My lady, your majesty, they wish your word and bond in person. I have a contract maker in place, and your royal bodyguard is awaiting. It will make things go faster."
Well, lead the way.
Excellent. She'll be like,
Named, you are coming?
Yeah. Yes, my grace, I
if
will.
I could borrow him for one moment before we join you, your majesty.
All right. Try not to assassinate anyone behind my back.
No, I'm not here to assassinate anyone.
And I'm off.
I won't eat him.
I don't care who you eat at this point.
I was talking about you.
Try it.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Her Majesty is very worried, and I appreciate that. But you and I both know that the banality leak is a problem that none of us have an answer for. And the only people who have answers for it are you, occasionally, Mahone, Madden, and his lady love who got lost to the mists. So, it is vitally important that we get our source of information back. I know Her Majesty will not want you to do things violently, but I would prefer you do them expediently.
No matter who gets hurt?
Do we know any of these people? Are they important?
Well, I might, let's just say, have a bone to pick with one of them.
Ah, then by all means, pick the bone. Because, well, you know, we would never disobey Her Majesty, but I also would further Her Majesty's aims quickly.
Quick and efficient. In, out.
Exactly.
If that's what Her Majesty wishes, I am here to accept.
Exactly. Now, we probably should go and make sure Her Majesty doesn't get eaten by another rampant cap on the other side. That would be terribly inconvenient at this point, so we should go. And as they leave the tent, Mahone in his stasis stirs, and the tent flaps.
But I'm already gone, so I don't see that.
Exactly. And neither do the red cap nor Lady Natia.
Okay.
Outside,
What were the generals' names again? Ciri and? It's not
Cortana.
Alexa.
Cortana.
Cortana, yes.
And it's Cortana who's doing business with you. Cortana is a small Cluricon lady. She is very angry, but she is very old too. This is not her first time around. You do have some remembrance of her from the dreaming from before all of this. She is one of the matriarchs of that kith, so she is well respected. She has a troll contingent with her who are obviously oath bound in some way to her.
Yes.
You do too. It's very just proving that you both can do the same thing. You're also doing this from like opposite ends of the clearing, just so it's a little harder for everybody to set off cantrips. Not you, and not her, but everybody else needs a little more power than just directly on top of them.
A queen is not afraid of her subjects. I'm going to meet her in the middle of the clearing.
Excellent. The small redheaded woman comes up to you, and she's got a battle scar.
And I'm also acting like I'm not even noticing the trolls.
Okay. She's got a battle scar right here
Achieving trolls thing.
along her cheek. She's not scared, but she is cautious. Been burned by she before, kind of thing. She's like,
Yes.
"You've thwarted my right of combat. You've frozen the royal riot. And I'm not supposed to believe you're the villain, Your Majesty."
No, you can believe whatever you want. And you can challenge me to combat later.
You say this.
For now, we have people
Almost
that we
every
need to
year.
evacuate, and you're in the way. It's not my fault that you don't get around to it.
She laughs. She says, "Oh, I get around to it. It's just, the whole castle and the she and, the sovereign thing. It gets in the way. It's almost like it's intended to."
Fine. Okay, but darling, do you really want to face me in single combat? And I gestured to the snowstorm behind me.
She goes, "Well, yes, I actually do want to face you in single combat, but I also don't want people to freeze to death. That was never the point of this.
Yes.
So, then she waves at Natia, minion, has informed me that you wish to get the commoners out first. Am I
Yes.
correct? Then on this we agree.
Yes, my terms are everyone out, and my concession is I will do the commoners first.
Excellent. We will do that as a contract that we are both bound to. If you don't have your own contract writer, I do.
I am my own contract writer.
Excellent. And she produces a scroll. And she's like, we might as well do this the traditional way. You write it. I read it. We shake hands on it.
All right. I write it, and I'm going to be forthright. I'm not trying to put any loopholes in there. But I also, if it fails, I don't want either of us to be bound by it. So the deal is we get everybody out, the commoners first, and then any lingering nobles. There can't be that many of them anyway. But if it goes sideways halfway through, I don't want both of us to be hit by an oath breaker kind of thing. But I do want her to genuinely try.
Okay. I was about to say she will concede to effects outside of changeling control.
Yes, that's fair.
She will not concede to anything going sideways because there are too many people that either of you could just nod at and not say anything and things would go sideways.
Yes. And I have the same fear. I'm worried that once I have the commoners out, something will accidentally go wrong and then the remaining nobles will still be in there. And then...
You are also very aware that there is a murder of crows circling this gathering here.
Okay.
This is usually the sign of the murder court.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that usually a bad omen?
It has not always been a traditionally bad omen for you. They have usually worked with you, but since Mahone came back, they've become more unstable. You can't trust them always.
Is the murder court, is that the shadow court?
No. Think more of a group of spies and information gatherers who gather information for their own purposes that they usually turned over to you before thinking you to be the rightful queen.
Okay, but right now I don't know what they're doing up there, so they might be freelancing. Okay.
They did attack the rebels when they were trying to get the cup.
Then I'm assuming that they are still loyal. Okay. I draw up the contract and I don't put any weird loopholes or tricks in there. It's just straight up what we agreed to.
Cortana reads it and then she gestures to someone who comes up, and it is a small Pisky. And the Pisky reads the contract. Says, not bad. Goes, not terrible for a noble. And hands the contract, and Cortana goes, fine. Don't like this. We still have a combat to do. And she signs her name.
Okay. Yeah, I signed too. So let's get to work.
All right. If you'd like to, both of you should have a fairly high perception and alertness. I'd like a success rate on your perception and alertness, please. And the threshold is 6.
Both of us? Does danger sense and insightful count?
Yes.
I'm not actually...
It's okay.
I'm actually not sure what my stats are.
It's all right. You should have at least 10 dice, no matter what.
Yeah.
Zach, your thresholds drop by 2 because both things apply, so you're at a 4.
I rolled exactly 6 successes.
Okay.
Wow! Okay. 7 successes.
Nice. Both of you, as the general and the Pisky walk away, are aware that the Pisky has given some sort of signal to someone.
Do we see who the someone is?
It's not somebody on the rebels side of this, because it would be too easy to tell them just walking up to it. It is somebody, a third party.
Like the murder court.
That's a likely answer.
Okay, that's fine.
Hmm. I'll put my hand on one of my daggers
Okay.
and just hold it. Not drawing, just very cautious.
Okay.
Do we make eye contact? Do we both know that the other saw it too?
I'd say yeah, you probably would make eye contact with him.
Okay.
Nothing happens to you though.
No. So as I pass, because we're now going to try to evacuate people, I do say to unnamed, so that has potential.
I don't trust it, but I don't trust anything.
That's why you're so good at your job.
Everything has a second motive, Your Majesty.
Natia goes, I'll get people mobilized and getting people out of the dreaming. Commoners first. We'll do women and children just to be polite. And she goes off to start organizing stuff. Laurel, you feel that shifting sense again that happened just as the challenge went off. That means the banality is starting to leak again.
Oh no. Can I stop it? Do I still have enough mojo?
It hasn't broken through now. It's just that impending sense of doom that's going on. So there is a time limit to getting this done.
Okay. Is there anything I can do to speed it up? I don't think so.
Not that you haven't already done just by being
Yes.
queen and yelling at people who could do it faster.
Have not yelled at anyone. I've been very magnanimous today, despite the fact that there are rebels who want to kill me.
Mm-hmm. There are. So honestly, you're enough of a queen to know that it's mostly down to a difference of opinion and their lack of understanding of the broader picture.
The broader issues, yes. I'm fine to duel their general. I don't know what she hopes to accomplish. But, I'm busy. She's just never made the top of my appointment list. It's not my fault.
Oh, that was in character, the laugh if you say that in character.
Probably. Like, I'm saying that to the Lady Islandette as we go.
Sorry. That was my fault. Anyways, as you go back, that shifting sense of banality stops.
Can I... Okay. Oh, that's not good. Can I pinpoint where it comes from?
Your tent.
Okay, let's have a look.
When you get back to your tent, the prince you had in stasis is gone. Your son is missing.
Well, I look for the nearest guard to start and bring him over.
The nearest, very startled troll guard is like, Your Majesty!
Where did the prince go?
He goes, I don't know. I was standing right here the whole time.
Did you? Yes. And what a marvelous job you did. Did you see him leave?
Goes, no. Everybody was out by the field, mostly. Nobody came.
Can I roll a bullshit check?
Sure. You can roll a bullshit check.
Sorry, no, I had to use your line from right.
It's okay. If you want to roll a bullshit check, I go for intelligence, investigation, intelligence, empathy, wits, empathy, something in there.
Okay, so I have wits, empathy, emotions specialty. Will that work?
Yeah,
Emotions.
absolutely.
Okay. Difficulty storyteller?
5. You're terrifying. You're also the queen's assassin.
1.
Okay. Well, you're pretty certain this troll would not lie to the queen, be oath breaking to the queen.
I just give him the evil eye.
It's like, I swear I didn't see anything.
Get me a tracker. Unnamed. Can you track him?
I could try, I'm not...
There's snow. Surely there are footprints. Are there footprints? There have better be footprints.
I mean, you'd have to go look for them, but there might be footprints.
I stare at the snow until it gives me footprints.
Okay, yeah, you stare at the snow. And there are not footprints in terms of, he left footprints, but staring at the snow until it gives you footprints is a different thing, and there are footprints. He's headed for the exit.
Okay. I say thank you, darling, to the snow, and I follow the footprints.
Okay.
I follow the Majesty.
It's strangely silent where Mahone has passed. It's almost like he's sucking up the glamour in this particular space. The people around him don't seem to notice anything like where the footprints went, but it's more like they avoid the space on their own.
Okay.
Also, this is not before your son went on his quest to the Dreaming, this would not have been common behavior. He would not have left without telling you where he was going. He certainly didn't suck up glamour like he was some sort of sponge. Yes. He definitively didn't wander around with wolves that made everybody uncomfortable.
Okay. I am replaying our first meeting after he came back from his quest. Did I double check that this was him?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not an imposter.
No. You did have somebody body double for him after you put him in stasis, but you know who that is because anybody who then looked like Mahone was obviously not Mahone because Mahone was in stasis.
Yes.
Well,
Zachary, Mahone had actually been one of your friends at one point before. That's why he'd taken you into the Dreaming. And so was Madden, actually.
So, do I know where he's going? If he's in this type of madness type of deal?
He rambles a lot about the wolf, the mountain, the crone. He rambles a lot about the three-faced woman of destruction. He gets really angry at things that try to extend the life of things that shouldn't be extended. Which was never in his personality before the Dreaming.
So probably he saw something in the Dreaming. And this is in internal monologue. Your Majesty, if you don't mind, I would like to take some folks, and I feel responsible for your son. He was one of my greatest, was my friend before the accident. And I would like to hire a bunch of people to track him down, if you don't mind. Bring him home.
I'm still hoping we can catch up with them. Is he going for the same exit where the rebels are?
Yes, there's only one in the forest right now.
Okay, and he's not a commoner, so with any luck, they didn't let him pass.
Yeah.
But yes, if he's gone, then you have my permission. But for now, let's see if we can still catch up with him.
So as you pass through the fairgrounds and the remains of the riot, it's heading towards the exit. It's become more orderly. There are still some frozen people here, but people are using what glamour they have left to reawaken them and try and get them out of the Dreaming and into places that they could reestablish themselves again. It's not as chaotic as it was where people were trying to push for the exit and being blocked by everybody's problems at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see Mahone. There's no evidence that there are any Shi who are disobeying your directives now that there is a plan to get everybody out. You mostly see the childlings being shepherded to the front as much as possible. Then you'll see, and particularly the things that are not big fighty things, the trolls will wait till almost all of the commoners have gotten out. You'll see things like the Eshu being shepherded out faster, largely because they're no use in a fight. You do keep seeing the footprints, though, and they do keep going forward. And you're so concentrated on the footprints that you almost run into the puka with the black hair and the deep eyeliner. She smiles. It says, Your Majesty, is there something wrong? And this is your contact for the murder court.
Yes, the prince has been. I lost him in the chaos.
That seems so unlike him. He was such a smart boy. And she's just staring at you.
Okay. Do people usually stare at me?
No, not in anything other than awe or,
Yes.
Goes, perhaps he had a mission that you thwarted him from.
That's entirely possible.
Says Your Majesty.
Since I did not grant him a mission and I'm the sovereign of his land, it's null and void.
It would be nice if things were as containable as that. I used to believe that.
Well, it's been a pleasure. I sidestepped the puka.
She steps in front of you. She says, I think this is the end of my road.
I highly recommend you send aside.
I know that. And I know that I will die here if I don't. But I won't.
Explain to me briefly why.
Because I serve your son.
Do you know what his mission is?
Yes. Or at least as
Tell
much
me.
of it as I can understand. I cannot.
I'm going to use Sovereign for that.
Okay. What are you using Sovereign to do?
I want her to tell me what his mission is. So I repeat, tell me, but with a little bit more force.
Her eyes go yellow. Her face narrows into a wolf jaw, which is not what she is. She is not a. She is a bird, and you see the ears poke out, and it hisses, and the teeth grow, and blood drips from the jaw, and says, "Your time is over," and the body falls down.
Okay. Do I still see footprints?
No.
Okay. I try to make them reappear. Like I come out the snow to show me where he went. The snow is not having any of it.
You get shown wolf tracks going in circles.
Oh, God damn it. Is she still alive, the puka?
She is still breathing. The wolf face is receding.
Okay.
I'll be staring at the puka, thinking, do we really need this person?
I gestured to the trolls to seize her.
Okay. The trolls do. She is, whatever happened to her has sapped whatever strength she had at that moment.
Yes, and she'll be coming to the care with us.
Okay. That makes sense. And I think that's all I have for this evening.
Yes.
It was great to do this with you guys. I really enjoyed this.
Was.
If y'all want to promote anything before we end the stream for the evening, now's your moment.
Yes, I am actually, I don't know when it's going to be out, but I, along with several other Changing the Dreaming alums, am writing a Storyteller Vault book about the coming of winter, where we handle various threats like the Dauntain and the Thalane and such. So if people want to follow me on Twitter as 100 Things I Love, I will no doubt be tweeting about that when the time comes.
I'm so excited. I love Changeling content. Anything you want, Zach?
I'm good.
Well, anyways, thank you everyone for joining us on this supplementary chronicle for Deep Magic. I've been so excited to do this. I really, really love Steffi and Zach. They're great. Best Laurel, best Redcap. Very, very happy. And